Hello, folks, and welcome to the SO Hacker Log. I am your script kiddie in Security Land, and this is my network that is being monitored by Security Onion. If you want to see how to set up a network like this for yourself, see the link down in the description. In this episode, I am going to port scan on a host that is on this network so that we can see what that looks like. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so now we are looking at multiple hosts on this network. And in the lower right-hand corner here, I have macOS. And in the lower left-hand corner here, I have Ubuntu Linux, which is also connected to this network. And in the background, I have a Windows PC, which is connected to this network, and it is logged into the Security Onion server that is monitoring this network. So basically, we are looking at 4 hosts here on the network. This macOS is the host that is going to get scanned. As you can see, I have the settings open on this Mac, and I have the firewall set to inactive. And that is for a couple of reasons. One is that I want to see what ports are open on this host by default. I also want to see if this host does anything when I port scan it. I am also going to look at the Ethernet connection here. And as you can see, the IP address here is 192.168.8.210. So that is the IP address that we are going to port scan. Now, over here with the Ubuntu Linux, I have Zenmap opened. And this is a GUI front end for Nmap, and it makes doing port scans very simple. Now, in the background here, we have the Security Onion console open, and I have it open to the alerts page. Now I am going to select the options here in this pull-down menu in the Security Onion console, and I am going to select the update frequency to 1 minute, just so that we can see any updated alerts here as they happen. What I'm also going to do here is I'm going to select dashboards over here, and I am going to right-click on it and open it in a new tab, just so that I can look at the statistics here, and also so that I can look at individual events as they are happening on this network. In this new tab here for the dashboards, I am also going to pull down the options menu here, and I am going to set the update frequency to 1 minute here as well. Now I am going to go over to the Zenmap that is running on this Ubuntu host here, and in the target field here, I am going to type in the IP address for the macOS host. Now in this profile pull-down menu right here, I am going to select Quick Scan. As you can see, Zenmap writes the command right here. So if you wanted to run this scan as a command in the command line, you could just by typing in this command right here. Now, this quick scan does not actually take all that long to complete. As you can see, it has given us some useful information here on this quick scan. It has given us the host name on the network. It has given us the MAC address and identified it as an Apple MAC address. And it has told us that the host is up and running. So that's not too useful, but it is some useful information that it has given us. Now I am going to go ahead and minimize this window and go back to the Security Onion console and see if we have generated any alerts. So I'm going to go back to the Alerts tab here in the Security Onion console. And as you can see, there are no new alerts here. So I am going to go over to this refresh button right here and just refresh this page. As you can see, Security Onion noticed some inbound traffic for SQL ports and labeled them as scans, so that's pretty good. Now I am going to go back to the Dashboards tab here in the Security Onion console, and nothing in these statistics really pops out at me as particularly different than it was before I did the scan. I'm going to go ahead and go over here to network events, and I am going to click on that, and I am going to include those events in the search query here. Okay, so when I scroll down here and I actually look at these, none of these are the port scan that I was doing. So I'm going to go ahead and actually go back to Zenmap here, and I am going to do something a little bit different. I am going to change the scan profile to Intense Scan plus UDP. And as you can see, this updates the command here if we wanted to execute this in the command line. And I am going to go ahead and initiate this scan. Now, this scan actually takes quite a long time to complete, but if we go back to the Security Onion console here, we can monitor this scan a little bit as it is happening. And if I hit refresh right here, you can see immediately that we have generated some more alerts here. So that is good because Security Onion is actually seeing this port scan that we're doing. As you can see, the scan over here continues to update. And like I said, this scan does take quite a while. A minute or so later, and the alerts page here in the Security Onion console updates, and as you can see, we are continuing to get more alerts from this scan. Going back to the Dashboards tab here, we can see that some of these alerts are actually starting to show up in our network events here as well. Okay, so this scan is continuing, and I am actually just going to go ahead and skip to when the scan is complete. Okay, this scan has completed now, and as you can see, there are quite a number of alerts that have been generated here because of this scan. And if we look at the results of this scan, you can see that there are some open ports on this Mac. You can see that it has identified the host name here, and it has identified the operating system. It has also given us a MAC address for it. It has given us a trace route of 1 hop here. So it has given us some information here about this Mac. And if we go back to the Mac here, you can see that whoever is using this Mac is oblivious that this scan took place against them. But the person who is monitoring this network with Security Onion has just been made well aware that a lot of unusual activity has just occurred.